Miss Ayushi Gupta. So she has written from Europe and she is a senior Android manager at Zalando. So I would like to invite her on stage. So let's make applause for her.
Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? Great? That actually makes me feel great. I know it's the last talk of the day and I'll try my best कि बहुत लंबी ना हो. So, after a long time when I come to Indore, obviously when you're in Indore, which is the most important thing you crave about? Any ideas, guys? Poha, food, obviously. So, it's the yummy food, right? But there are so many options out there. कैसे choose करोगे? Which option you should choose? Any ideas, any suggestions? Which option you should choose for choosing that specific food? Come on, guys, I want answers. Okay, so yes, there are few options. Obviously, the quality of food, खाना अच्छा है भी या नहीं, restaurant अच्छा है या नहीं, and obviously ambience also matters if you guys are going on a date. So there are many factors and so on. So the same thing happens in the Android world. There are many apps which are solving one common problem. So what is the criteria for choosing the one app which you really want to use? So, any answers? What are your criteria of choosing an app? Videos, okay. Any more answers from this crowd? What are your criteria of choosing an app? User friendly, that's a very nice term. And okay, small size. Okay, those are few answers. Let me give you a bit more help. Let's say there is one app जिसमें बहुत सारे फीचर्स हैं. शायद कुछ क्रैश कर रहे हैं, कुछ चल रहे हैं, कुछ अटक रहे हैं. And there is another app which has smaller features, but it is actually serving the purpose that you really want to work. So, what will be your choice? One or two? So, yes, I think that's a very smart choice. So, let's just start the journey of building this smoother customer experience with Firebase. I would really like to mention with Firebase, and let's try to take it beyond. So, before starting, a brief introduction about me. I'm Ayushi Gupta, working as a senior Android engineer at Zalando, based out of Berlin. And prior to that, I was working with GoTo, which you guys might be knowing as Gojek, which is a multi-service Indonesian platform. I was also working with Disney Plus Hotstar, India's leading OTT platform, and which has a record of 25.3 million concurrency. That journey of scaling the Exo player to 25.3 million concurrency is really, really interesting. And you guys can actually check out that journey on YouTube. So, a bit more details about me could be found on my website, and just feel free to connect with me on Twitter or email. So, now the question is, what are product goals? Everyone out over here is a part of agile mobile industry. Okay, let me ask, what are your dream companies, guys? Any answers? Google, okay. Any more answers from this crowd? What are your dream companies? Facebook, okay. I cannot hear it, come on. Amazon, okay. So they all are product-based company. They would want that you should work really, really hard to deliver the best user experience. And like as we have seen, there are many apps which are solving the one common problem. So what to do that would make you stand out? What do you really want to do? You really want to build features who go in the market progressively, or you want कि it just goes in the market with a big bang? What would be your choice, guys? Progressive or big bang? What do you think? Yes, that's a right question. Progressive. Okay, and how do you really want to work? Do you want hardcore backing on the ideas you're coding, or like something developing in an air? You would really need to answer ki why is this particular code which you're writing is needed. There is some reliable analytics data which you should link to. We want to validate like whether this particular flow जो भी आप बना रहे हो क्या इससे business में addition हो भी रहा है या नहीं? Is it even adding to the number of increase of your consumers for your app? So, like as you guys have answered, we don't want things with big bang. We want to be silently entering into the market. And most importantly, like as you guys have mentioned, user friendly. So a smart choice of having customer obsessed decisions. Let's just talk about a very simple feature. I guess everyone can see. Any idea which screen is this? Come on, I need answers. Which screen is this? Search, right? So a very simple search screen, and just imagine that you are building it from scratch. So let's say when user types something, you're gonna hit an API, right? And then you're gonna put some business logic around. You would not want that you keep on hitting the API every time user is typing. So obviously there are gonna be certain business logics around. कि जैसे हो सकता है कि जब user ने 3 characters लिख लिए हो, you wanna hit the API at that time. And then that API will hit, give you results, and then you want to render it. What will be your choice of rendering? Any ideas, guys? How would you render the results? Okay, list. In terms of Android, do we have any Android developers around there? Yes? That's a nice answer. He is using a text watcher. Yes, we would use text watcher with recycler view. And I guess अगर सुबह compose का session सुना होगा तो there could be a choice of lazy column and lazy rows. So just keep an eye on this particular feature. So ये तो हमारा feature बना लिया. But a feature बनाने के बाद की आगे की journey क्या? There isn't choice. There is a saying कि you should not mess with what is working. You should not actually break which is really working in the software. So how would you like to build? We would like to build without compromising the existing ones. So we would like to have control on the features. जब आज आपने search का ये पूरा का पूरा feature scratch से शुरू किया है, you would want to have a control on this feature. Like what happens? If there is an option, you should be able to turn it off. So that is the point of having it as feature gated. Next comes user targeting. I guess वहाँ जो पीछे लोग हैं जो कि almost सो चुके हैं, so I would not like to target my feature to them. And here also, like there are few which have already been talking and busy, so I might also not like to give my new feature to these guys. So we should have some specific criteria of targeting our features. And I guess I have some answers from this side, so these could be my new user target group where I want to give out my new shiny features. So there isn't also a good option where we would like to have specific user targeting. Next comes A/B experiments. Like I have made my choice, I want to give features to this particular group of people. I would like to also have the option that these guys should see sometimes the feature as on or off, so that I can play around and I could see how the user journey is actually built. So that is the whole concept of having A/B experimentation. With the A/B experimentation, I have the power to change the app's UI, and even I can play along with engagement campaigns. And I could actually see how many people out of this group is actually adding to my revenue. How many users are actually returning. So that's really, really important. Last but most important one. Am I really able to scale this particular feature or not? That is really, really important. हो सकता है this feature has to go out to millions of users. So all the API and backend services which you have written, are these scaling properly? So you would like to have some granular feature rollout. And like as we were talking, we would need some reliable analytics data. For example, कल को company पूछेगी कि इस feature ने कैसा काम किया? So what option do you have? Do you have any numbers on your plate? You don't have it if you don't wire it with your Google Analytics. So obviously you need to wire analytics as well with this particular feature. So this is all what in short looks like right now. We have two criterias. Either I want to turn on the feature or I want to turn off the feature. So I thought it's a really a good time to take a bet on Firebase for all the things which I have seen. So let's just start checking it out, whether this bet is worth it or not. So what I'm really gonna start is with Firebase remote config. What's special in Firebase remote config? Any idea? किसी ने use किया है Firebase remote config? Yes? Force update, okay. I would not like to use Firebase remote config for force update. Any other answers? Okay, gaming, yes. Any more answers in the crowd? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay, free. Okay, that's also one thing. So with Firebase remote config, what you can actually do, you can actually change the behavior of your app and appearance without publishing an app upgrade. So as he was saying, force update, with Firebase remote config, I can actually change out the entire look of the app without even rolling out an update. So, and specifically without paying nothing. And that could be done for unlimited daily active users. So that is what Firebase remote config gives you. Now the question is, how does actually Firebase remote config give it to you? कैसे करता है Firebase remote config ये? What is the specific thing in the Firebase remote config which does this? Firebase remote config is actually a client library that actually handles all the important tasks. First, it will fetch the parameter values and cache them. So what happens as you're caching, there is a dashboard which is there where you define your keys and your values. And when you launch your app, all the key value pairs will be fetched from that Firebase remote config. So while they are fetched, you can actually enjoy the view of the app. It will not stop your app from executing. And the beauty is that there is an option to cache it. And that caching is available actually for 12 hours. So within that 12-hour span, your app is working smoothly with the previous parameter values. And if you really want to change this, there is also an option to do that. Just set the default interval with as less than 12 hours. This is all about doing the parameter changes from a dashboard. But I really don't like that. Let's say you want to play around with something new. What's new in the remote config? The remote config has new backend API. Now, what things you were doing from a dashboard, you could actually do it from remote config backend API. So all the backend developers who are out there, and tomorrow if your company asks you to upgrade the scenario, let's say if you want to turn on a campaign, हो सकता है कि यार कल को किसी को ये campaign दिखाना है, किसी को नहीं दिखाना है, you could actually do that from your cron job. You can schedule all your changes in the app, which is a front end. So it's a wiring for front end and back end through a remote config backend API. You can schedule the changes and they will reflect in the front end. That is your app. The one which I really like the most is the remote config with cloud functions. So out of here, कितने लोगों ने cloud functions के बारे में सुना भी है? बस, like, I want to count. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Anyone out there? Anyone uses cloud functions? Okay, so yes, you can actually use remote config API with cloud functions. You can change the values based on server side. Let me explain you a bit. हो सकता है एक marketing campaign चल रही है where we are showing a banner, let's say Black Friday था, so there is a Black Friday sale going on and you turn on, you want कि कुछ लोगों को Black Friday का campaign दिखे. So what you would do? Now the backend, the server team can actually change the feature value in the backend and that would be interpreted on the front end and they could actually play along with the campaign. And after some time, when the campaign is finished, हो सकता है रात को 12 बजे जब campaign बंद करना हो, you will not call a developer to turn it on or off on the dashboard. You could actually do it from the server side itself. Isn't it amazing, guys? It's like front-end wiring with back-end. I hear no answers. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you, Ayush, for the answer. So now it's a smooth wiring for remote config backend API. So ये तो wiring की बात कर ली. अब कैसे कुछ और interesting कर सकते हैं remote config backend API के साथ? So FCM के बारे में कितने लोगों ने सुना है? What is FCM? I want to know. Okay, that's a push notification service. Anyone can say me the full form of FCM? Oh yes, that's true. So now with remote config background function, you could actually trigger your cloud messages. You could actually send notifications. Let me tell you कैसे करते हैं ये. So for example, आज जब हमने देखा कि रिमोट कॉन्फ़िग सिर्फ 12 घंटे बाद रिफ्रेश होती है या कुछ टाइम बाद जो कि हमने डिफाइन किया है, what would happen कि आपको अपनी ऐप को फोर्स अपग्रेड, let's say not the force upgrade but force update कराना हो. For example, when the app launch, I want that there should be a fresh call of the remote config. How you can actually do that? So now with remote config backend API, there is an option. So whenever you update the template on the backend, you trigger a call of background function through cloud functions, and that will send a push notification. As this guy mentioned, you can send a push notification which is read by the front end, that is the app side. And when the app is interpreting that push notification, you can have a particular set of a payload which tells you, yes, the next time when remote config is gonna be fetched, it has to be from server. It cannot use the stale data object. So you could solve, it's something like propagation of update nearly real time. So ये तो बात हो गई where you're telling push notifications and everything. What about, सोचो कि इतनी बड़ी टीम है जितने कि आप लोग यहाँ पर हो, कैसे पता लगेगा कि किसने कॉन्फ़िग अपडेट किया? But किसने अपडेट किया? How would I know that it's you who has updated? I want to know it's your user ID who updated it. I want to know that abc@gmail.com has updated it. So we wanted solutions that key something around collaborative workflows. It's a huge team. Just imagine like you guys are working in a collaborative workflow. So what you could do now? So like we have talked around cloud functions, the same backend API could be wired with the cloud functions, and they could be wired in a workflow JSON of Slack or email. And that particular payload could be interpreted through a webhook URL. So now you could actually know who updated your remote config. So let's say कल को कुछ गलत deployment हो जाता है, so you know who is the guy you should target. Or let's say it's also good in maintaining the version history. So let's say when the new keys are added or when the new keys are updated, you should know what is the reason of this upgrade. So it's really, really useful. So this is all about remote config. हमने बहुत सारे cloud functions के साथ खेल लिया, and we have even created our own messaging system. But what about having certain experiments? How could I actually play with the variants in the environment? Like we were talking about the simple feature of search. Let's say ये हमारा वेरिएंट A है जिसको हमने नया सर्च दिया, and this is our variant B where we don't want to give the search. How could you do it? Any idea? Have someone experimented with remote config? A/B experiments? किसी को सुना है, कुछ किया है? Oh yes, we have few people. So what you could actually do, when you create a key in the remote config, that particular key could be used in creating experimentation. Let's say, for example, हमने नया search का key नाम दिया is new search enabled. And let's say you have two values, either you have true or you have false, right? So we want that the variant A receives the true value of this particular key, and the variant B, which you are guys, should not receive our search. And I could actually experiment around, let's say from 0.01 weightage to 100% weightage for this variant A. And I could actually see how they are using the app. But how could that be actually done? Any idea? How would you know how is it performing in the variant A? Nice. So now it's the time to wire analytics with your remote config A/B experimentation. So it's all kind of like, you could see, first it comes remote config, जिसमें हमने key बनाया, उस key को हमने A/B experimentation में use किया. Now that particular same key could be used in Google Analytics as well. So the same key is used everywhere. Key तो बना लिया, variant A भी बना लिया, variant B भी बना लिया. But how to decide who is the winner? Is variant A winner or variant B winner? What is the criteria? Okay, the answer is right. Analytics is, obviously you have to sit and analyze, okay, these are the events that your analytics is doing. But what does Firebase do? Firebase helps you in visualizing. So in A/B experimentation, you could set your primary metric. Let's say I have set the number of people who are getting converted, let's say जिनके orders place हो रहे हैं, जिसमें ये key value true है. So let's say I'm reading this particular metric, and let's say that what this Firebase gonna do? It's gonna evaluate कि ऐसे कितने 95% लोग हैं variant A में जो ये actually कर रहे हैं. So let's say variant A में हमें 95% chance मिलता है where this particular thing is happening. So Firebase will tell you that yes, variant A is a clear leader. But my whole point is, Firebase is just a tool. Do you actually have to see कि okay, variant A वाकई में leader है या नहीं? So here comes you as a conscious decision. It comes entirely on you. Firebase सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक इंडिकेशन दे सकता है कि हाँ, वेरिएंट ए अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है, लेकिन क्या वो वाकई में अच्छा है? दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हो सकता है कि वेरिएंट ए में जो एपीआई यूज हो रही है, इट इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग एज वेल, या हो सकता है कि बैक एंड टीम ने काम कंप्लीट नहीं किया, so it is not able to scale well. So in that condition, variant A might not be the clear winner for you, and you might choose to turn off the feature. So here comes the conscious decisions from you guys. बहुत हो गया experimentation, बहुत हो गया remote config. क्या बस अब app launch कर दें? I cannot hear you guys. Like, are you guys even listening? Should we launch the app with that feature with all the tools we have? Yes? Okay, I have got a yes as well, but I cannot hear whether it's a yes or no from those guys at the back. Is it a yes or a no, guys? It's a very mixed question. I don't know how you can launch an app without testing. And if you're doing it, I know it's gonna be a very big boom. Might be you getting a lot of tweets after that, hey, this particular app is not working, or let's say, the Facebook down hota hai, the thing we do, it's not working, or the Instagram is not working. So I guess similar sort of things. With Firebase, you get an option of Firebase Test Lab. What is Firebase Test Lab? Firebase Test Lab is a cloud-based app testing infrastructure that actually let you test on the range of devices and configuration. So you can actually get a better idea कि ये app actually when live जाएगी तो कैसे perform करेगी. Okay, I have a question. How many are the Android users over here? Raise your hands. Okay. Which is the Android OS version you guys are using? Okay, 12. Anyone? 8, 9, 10? Okay, I have 10. Anyone less than 10? I guess no one is using less than 10. But हो सकता है किसी कोने में 10 से नीचे वाले लोग हो. How are you going to test your app on that particular Android 10? What are the options do you have? Okay, I have AVDs, which is yes, Android virtual devices. Any other options with apart from AVD? Okay, I want to know how many Android companies you know. Answer me some. Okay, what is the company name? Which device you are using? I want to know how many are OnePlus user. Okay, how many are Samsung users? Okay, quite a few. How many are Sony users? कोई भी नहीं है यार. How many are Google Pixel users? Okay, how many are Motorola users? Okay, how many are Oppo users? भाई बहुत जनता है. हम इतने सारे devices कैसे test करेंगे? So with Firebase, you could at Test Lab, there is an option जहाँ Google ने अपना एक data space बना रखा है, where you can find all the range of devices that you could actually test. So Google Data Center is there. You could just create your APK and upload it in Test Lab. And it will make sure to test on all sort of devices and test configurations. And you could see how it is actually performing in the real world. So what are the tests that get actually executed? There are two types of tests. First is the instrumentation test, and second is about robo test. So आज की talk में I'm gonna talk about robo test. Any idea robo सुन के क्या याद आ रहा है किसी को यहाँ पे? Automation. रोबो सुन के किसी को रोबोट याद नहीं आया क्या? टर्मिनेटर याद आया यार. So yes, we have robo test. What are robo test? Robo test is a testing tool that is actually integrated with Firebase Test Lab. Robo test actually analyzes the structure of your entire app's UI. It explores methodically and automatically simulating user activities. For example, जैसे आप जब app open करते हो and you try to log in and you create a particular flow, just imagine you don't need a QA team now. There is a robot which is actually doing the same thing for you. So, anyone thinking of going to QA side, just be aware we have robo test. Robo test actually capture all sort of log files. Even it creates screenshots. It creates videos, and you could actually play around. अगर आपकी app start होने में बहुत time ले रही है, then your robo test will say, hey dude, you should watch out. This app is not working. So that's really, really cool. It has made the entire thing automated. ये तो बात हुई रोबो टेस्टिंग की. सोचो कि एक कॉम्प्लेक्स फ्लो तुमने बनाया जहां पे तुम लेट्स से 4-5 बटन क्लिक करते हो, 4-5 पेजेस ओपन करते हो. उसे रोबोट को कैसे बताओगे कि मुझे ये फ्लो ऐसे ही टेस्ट करना है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे यू प्ले अलॉन्ग इन एप्स. लेट्स से व्हेन यू आर यूजिंग मैप्स, you might keep on adding stop, you might keep on deleting stops, and then you want to see the time when you click on maybe train, bus, car, road, cycle, whatever. So how would you teach your robot? So yes, the answer are the scripts. Don't worry, you don't have to code anything while doing this script. So this is the beauty of robo scripts. You could just create a video, just play along in your app, and the robo scripts will be automatically created in Android Studio. You don't have to, it's not something really, really manual. You could just upload the recording which you created on Firebase control, and it will be automatically executed in robotest. And the beauty of this particular scripting is that whenever the robot testing will execute for you, सबसे पहले तुम्हारी लिखी हुई script execute होगी. And if anything fails in that particular script, it's a no-go. That particular test gets failed. So this is all about robot scripts. ये तो हो गया, चलो रोबोट ने काम कर दिया, रोबोट ने एनालाइज कर दिया. बट कुछ काम as a developer you guys should also do. Have you heard about espresso testing, guys? कुछ UI automation किया है किसी ने यहाँ? So if not, then this is something really an important question which is going to be asked in interviews. So if you're really preparing for interviews, make sure that you answer your testing questions too. So espresso or UI automated test will be asked. So what happens in this particular thing? In this scenario, the particular instrumentations or the automation test which you have written will be executed by Firebase Test Lab. And there is a time limit on this particular execution. It will be executed just for 45 minutes on the physical devices and 60 minutes on virtual devices. So let's say if in that particular frame, you're not able to execute your test, you're going to be billed really high. So make sure that your tests are small and they run independently. The one which I really like the most is the screen capturing. What happens in screen capture? In instrumentation testing, there is an option that you could actually write screenshot.capture. So let's say during your automation flow, अगर आपने कहीं पे ये line लिखी है, so particular flow screenshot will be created. And that particular thing you could write on your CI/CD pipelines to match कि whether जो आपने local में test किया था और जो server पे हो रहा है, is it really same or not? So this is all about testing. I know developers don't like to test, but there is no choice. We have to take the ownership of our code. So we have to do testing. So now testing is done. I'm pretty sure that now my app is gonna work fine on all the live users. But like as they have mentioned, we need analytics. Have you heard about Google Analytics, guys? कितनों ने use किया है? किसी ने BigQuery use किया है? Nah, okay, I see few hands. Okay, so I see the Google Analytics में क्या use किया? I want to really know. Okay, those are funnels, conversion tracking. I want to hear from this crowd. Event log करना है. Anyone else? Google Analytics किस लिए use किया है? So yes, we have event tracking on Google Analytics. What does it actually do? Google Analytics is a measurement solution available at no charge that actually gives you an insight कि app कैसे use हो रही है, user की journey क्या है, how is user getting engaged on that particular app. And there is an option of about 500 distinct events. So it scales really well for a small idea where you have small events and you want to really work around that. And you could actually wire it up with your notification composer as well. So हो सकता है कि कल को आपने Firebase के through एक notification भेजी है. So like we were talking about FCM and whether that notification is actually getting clicked or not. How many guys over here click the notifications you get? बस इतने ही लोग notification click करते हैं. कितने लोग dismiss करते हैं notifications? भाई सभी dismiss करते हैं, मना करना पड़ेगा कंपनियों को send करने से. और क्या इन लोगों को notification आती नहीं है क्या? Is it always on a DND mode? I don't hear, like I could see some people over there. So now you could actually integrate your analytics with notification as well. And there is an option of real-time analytics as well. कैसे पता चलेगा कि real time पे how is he guy playing along on his app? So now do check this out where you could have the stream view of Google Analytics live data. So this was all about I've told you about remote config, I have told you about test lab, A/B experimenting, Google Analytics. बहुत हो गया Firebase. Now let's just take it a step ahead. What do you think? Any ideas how you can take the Firebase ahead? कुछ idea, कुछ कीड़ा करने का मन है? I would tell जो मैंने कीड़ा किया है. I want to hear your ideas, what you can think of. Okay, chatting application. So that is Firebase cloud messaging. Apart from that, I'll tell you what I did. So Firebase is kind of centralized approach. There is a single place जहाँ पे सारी keys और values रखी हुई है. So let's say अगर किसी key या का value change करना है या key को delete करना है, you have to go it on dashboard and do it. या फिर API से बदलोगे. There is no other way out. Just imagine जब तुम्हारे पास 2000 keys हो, you would keep on searching, you would keep on deleting, and that small change is a consumption of your time. सोचो कि कोई प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर बार बार तुम्हारे पास आ रहा है और कहता है कि नहीं यार इस की वैल्यू चेंज कर दो, नहीं यार इस की पे अलग डिप्लॉयमेंट कर दो. So it's a consumption of your time. And the most important question is how to limit the excess in production. Just imagine if this guy also plays with the production key, he also plays with the production key. How you can limit it who is actually playing with your production data. And just imagine on the scale of Hotstar. Let's say अगर किसी ने गलती से कोई की जाके बंद कर दिया और IPL की streaming बंद हो गई तो I'm pretty sure everyone out over here gonna tweet it that IPL is not working. Isn't it true? और कितने लोगों को buffering वाला issue आने लगेगा and like you will be just scrolling the match is not working. I guess कोई match ही नहीं देखता यहाँ पे. Are you guys don't you guys watch IPL or what? या कोई और ऐप यूज करने लगे हो यार? सोनी यूज कर रहे हो क्या? हाँ? Okay, so he's saying Jio Cinema. So I can hear Sony, I could hear Jio Cinema. Anyone Voot users over here as well? Oh yes, Amazon Prime. So yes, this key playing data would actually take a lot of time. So what I did, I created this in-app configurator. I think you should actually have a look on this particular thing. In this scenario, this particular in-app configurator is only available in debug builds. You could change the keys of that particular build. And when you do that, you could just create a new session with a new updated key value. And it's done. So it's like having one build for all. There is no server call. And it will work really, really smooth. Can I hear this? What does this is? What do you think? What is an ever-going journey? What is an ever-going journey, guys? Coding to hai sahi. Chalo, what is it next? Huh? Bugs. Yes, bugs are ever-going journey. What is an ever-going journey? Feedback. Yes, yaar. Har quarter mein aayega. Deadline. Yes. Any ideas? What according to you is an ever-going journey? Huh? I could hear semicolon man. Can I hear it from you? What according to you is an ever-going journey, guys? Huh? Okay. Any more interesting answers? Or you guys really need chai, coffee or something? Yeah, right? Is that an ever-going journey? I want to hear from this crowd. What is an ever-going journey according to you? I really don't have any answers from this area of crowd. What according to you is an ever-going journey? Data, yes. From this side? Oh yes, QA versus developer. But I think that's an ever-going battle, not an ever-going journey. Bug fixes, yes. So, yes, all of these things which you have said is an ever-going journey. With Firebase, it just becomes easy for you to test your feature expectation and actually have a measure about user engagement. And which I really feel is really, really important is to have the control on the app over the fly. It's like I can turn off the match for you without pushing an app update for you. So you can see what you can do with remote config. And whenever you want to scale the app, you don't have to worry. So with Firebase infrastructure, it is really, really easy for you guys to support scaling smoothly. So guys, just wait, yaar, abhi bacha hai thoda sa. Then you can really, really clap. I know, sabko jaane ki, ghar jaane ki jaldi hai. So here are the few links which I really think would be useful for you. So first one is a talk from DroidCon Italy, and which actually tells you how you can use memory leaks, crashlytics, and visualize it. So you should really, really check out. A small link can sink a great ship. And the next one is about Kotlin multi-platform, which is something real. Yes, KMP. It's about what happened in DroidCon Italy for Kotlin multi-platform. What are the new things which is coming in Kotlin multi-platform? So thank you guys for being a patient listeners. Happy coding, guys. Really, really code well. Think before you code. Make sure you know what this particular line can do. It can be a devil or it could be a dev. So just figure it out. See ya.
Thank you so much, Ayushi, for this enthusiastic session. I request you to please accept the memento.
Please come at the center.
Thank you.
Please make a round of applause for her.